Dear Ms. Wilson, as you know, I've been a member of the Peel Youth Violence Prevention Network's Education and Policy Working Group since March 2007. I also attended 4 of your Mississauga Youth Plan meetings: Central Library, Living Arts Center, Malton Community Center, and St. Marcellinus Secondary School. I regret that I'm unable to attend council for your Mississauga Youth Plan presentation to oppose it and shed light into its implementation for the public. Prior to giving your Mississauga Youth Plan presentation on Wednesday, I request that you examine the dozen sheets that I handed out to Mississauga Council on June 24th regarding the bans issued by the City of Mississauga corporate security guards to kids as young as 9 years old. For example, on November the 14th, 2008, the same day as the McMurtry Curling Report on the Roots of Youth Violence was released, City of Mississauga corporate security banned a 10-year-old girl for 30 days from Mississauga Civic Centre, Central Library, and Living Arts Center. Then, just 3 days later, on November 17, 2008, City of Mississauga corporate security banned 4 11, 12-year-olds and 1 13, 14-year-old for 30 days from the Mississauga Civic Centre, Central Library, and Living Arts Center for skateboarding, quote, using the ramps to P2, meaning parking level 2. Had any of these youth returned to even one of these facilities, they would have been arrested and charged with trespass to Property Act. Don't believe? Freedom of Information reveals a January 17, 2005 email written by Mr. Ken Owen, Director of Facilities and Property Management, also known as the Director of Mississauga Corporate Security, that stated, under what circumstances would we not lay a charge against an individual who has been banned under trespass to property as a result of an incident covered under this policy? Seems to me that maybe ought to be will be, unless such a circumstance could reasonably be predicted. To not enforce a ban renders all bans irrelevant and ineffective. If someone has a good reason why they ignored the ban, let them tell it to the judge when the charge goes to court. Zero tolerance is the hallmark of the policy, and we should uphold that. And the rest they do. Freedom of Information confirms that on September the 30th, 2008, Mississauga corporate security guards arrested 4 youth aged 12-13, 13-14, 15-16, and an 18-19-year-old youth for returning during their ban, also known as trespass. Handcuffs were used on the 13-14 and the 15-16-year-old. All had been banned from Mississauga Civic Centre, Central Library, and Living Arts Center on the same day. Here's another reason why I oppose the Mississauga Youth Plan. Remember that Youth Plan meeting at Malton Community Center on March 3rd, 2008? I was there. Why did you have a Mississauga corporate security response unit so prominently parked right near the entrance to the building? Didn't it occur to anyone that this might intimidate youth who might otherwise want to attend? Or was that the actual purpose? I submit that the response unit was there as a signal to youth on the MissCorpSec shit list not to come to the meeting and have their say. Let me tell you something else about City of Mississauga corporate security. Once youth get on the wrong side of any of their guards, they're permanently on the MissCorpSec database shit list. And ask me how I know. And why did City of Mississauga corporate security prevent about a half dozen black youth from entering the building and that meeting? And please do not tell me I misinterpreted what I saw. I watched for a long time and saw a couple of those black kids press their faces to the window, gesturing to the guards, two friends inside at the meeting. Why were they not allowed in? Or why, for that matter, did you not invite youth input into the subtle nuances of City of Mississauga corporate security's implementation of the corporate violence, vandalism, and bullying policy during any of those youth meetings? In addition, I encourage you to view the bans, trespass arrests issued at Malton Community Center between January 2006 to current. another irony and a Mississauga Youth Plan factoid. On the same day as the Mississauga Youth Plan meeting at Malton Community Centre, March 3rd, 2008, City of Mississauga corporate security guards banned 4 skateboarders for 30 days from the Mississauga Civic Centre, Central Library, and Living Arts Centre. These March 3rd, 2008 bans happened exactly 2 weeks before the City of Mississauga's March 17th, 2008 Audit Committee meeting recommended that Council approve City of Mississauga corporate security public complaints policy that allowed MissCorpSec to investigate themselves. But here's a really truly neat piece of City of Mississauga corporate history. At that March 17, 2008 Audit Committee meeting, Mayor Hazel McCallion stated, "I hope that the people we hire are sensitive to the fact that we are dealing with the public and we should give them every understanding possible." Jamie Hillis, manager of Mississauga Corporate Security, responded with, "Yes, absolutely." Mr. Owen was there, and judging by his silence, he clearly agreed, "Yes, absolutely." More facts. Mississauga Corporate Security failed to comply with the city's own guidelines to working with the Trespass Act that guaranteed minors, youth, parent, guardian advocacy should they be banned, as well as special consideration for kids younger than 12. Mr. Owen confirmed that no one knows when these guidelines were abandoned or who made the decision to abandon them. In a March 3rd, 2009 email, he wrote, quote, "The guidelines first appeared sometime before 1997, and there have been minor amendments made on a couple of occasions. They were not abandoned by a specific action of a particular person, but rather the practices mentioned became increasingly impractical and were replaced with other more relevant ones. Meanwhile, the public complaints policy that Mississauga Corporate Security were free to draft themselves requires a parent and guardian to sign for a minor should a kid have a complaint. Bottom line, Mississauga Corporate Security makes certain that kids have zero parent-guardian advocacy when banned, and strong protection for Mississauga Corporate Security should a kid want to complain, since it requires parents, guardians to sign the complaint form. That means that the youngster has to confess that he got in hot water with Hazel McCallion's finest. By necessity, I must stop here except to say that I oppose the City of Mississauga working with youth without the vigilant supervision of Peel Regional Police and both the Peel and Dufferin-Peel school boards. Contrary to what elected officials will claim, City of Mississauga staff are unaccountable. Think about it. All these bans, 9 to 12-year-olds, happened as staff were getting World Leadership Awards and crowing about trust, quality, excellence. Not to mention 2 corporate reports of excellence going to Mississauga Corporate Security. It's okay. Let's try that one more time. Freedom of Information has revealed tons and tons more regarding treatment of citizens and youth, as you might imagine. But by necessity, I must stop here, except to say that I oppose the City of Mississauga working with youth without the vigilant supervision of Peel Regional Police and both the Peel and Dufferin-Peel school boards. Contrary to what elected officials will claim, City of Mississauga staff are unaccountable. Think about it. All these bans, 9 to 12-year-olds, happened as staff were getting World Leadership Awards and crowing about trust, quality, and excellence. Not to mention 2 corporate awards of excellence going to Mississauga Corporate Security Malton section. Last, a Mississauga Youth Plan poem. I call it, "Please Leave Security Alone to Do Its Job," dedicated to the Mississauga Corporate Security individual still hiding from accountability for his or her anonymous message to me. Hey, MissCorpSec, what do you say? How many youth did you ban today? Please leave security alone to do its job. Never, never, you despicable knob. Signed, Ursula Bennett, the Mississauga News, a.k.a. Suspect 1, Mississauga Watch.